Hi, Larry Ziman here. Want to give you a little more update on life groups here at Faith Community. The last time we were together, I talked about the structure of life groups and how we're moving to a setting that involves 3 trimesters: fall, winter, and summer. And the reason we're going this approach is that it provides natural opportunities for people to join groups. We're calling those on-ramps, because for each trimester there'll be a sign-up period. And they'll provide on-ramps for people who are interested in taking part in group life here at Faith Community. It also provides the opportunity for off-ramps, that for whatever reason, perhaps the night doesn't work or the time of day doesn't work, or there could be some other reasons, a person would have an off-ramp at the end of the 9 or the 12 or however long that particular trimester is. They would have an off-ramp and then allow them to move into another setting in a graceful fashion. Another purpose, another value I should say, of going the trimester route is that it accounts for the natural rhythms of life. That's most notably between the fall and winter trimester. The fall trimester will end right around Thanksgiving, with the winter trimester starting about January 10th. And so what that accounts for is that crazy time of the year between Thanksgiving and New Year's, and we're accounting for that cultural rhythm, and we think that's going to help. That has to do with the structures. But what I want to talk about life groups today has to do with what we hope to see happen relationally in these groups. It's our hope that really fun, vibrant, God-honoring friendships happen as a result of these times being spent together. We do not want our life groups to be merely Bible study and prayer meetings. We want to see a relational environment take place where Christ's purposes are being lived out between the people in the group and to those on the outside. So it's a laboratory for discipleship. And we're hoping that friendships will take place. And in the groups that we have for life groups, there'll be anywhere from 6 to 12 people in most groups. In the past, our thinking was that we would like to see intimacy take place in these groups. And we've since come to a conclusion that while that happens on occasion in some groups, the vast majority of groups never really achieve a healthy spiritual intimacy in these settings. And so we're kind of revising our thinking. Here's what we envision. Instead of a group of 6 to 12 being intimate with each other and kind of knowing secrets and your passions in a way that the general population does, we find it more conceivable that intimacy will happen between a handful of people, perhaps 2 or 3. And so what we envision happening in these groups is that within that group setting, there will be a couple other people who you might connect with at a different level that you can move on into intimacy. Saw that happen actually recently in a life group where a struggle came out in the life of a person, and another part of the group, a person in another part of the group felt a little offended because they weren't aware of what was going on. They thought that their group was supposed to be intimate. Well, it turns out all along this person had 2 other people in the group who was sharing the struggle with the whole time. They were praying together and wrestling together, and then intimacy was taking place. We're saying that's probably a lot more normative in how life works, and so we're no longer seeking to push intimacy in a larger setting, but that might have to happen offline. So intimacy will only happen with a handful, but we can develop many friendships. And so between on and off ramps, between the 9 to 12 weeks that you spend studying together, praying together, serving together, having a meal and playing together, we're hoping that a broad spectrum of friendships will develop for people, and as a result that Faith Community overall become a friendlier, more welcoming place. So, we're after friendships, not for friendship's sake. We want to see people grow into Christ-likeness. We want to see them go on to mission. We want to have the type of friends that make that happen. So, that's it for today. Hopefully you'll all be involved in our next life group as we look at the prodigal God together and seek to understand what it means to follow Christ in the life of the body. Thanks.